we're moving forward here.
Okay, yeah, with 2 more to taste.
I know. I feel like I'm
Thank
I'm
you.
at like the end of the yellow brick road here, and I'm trying to find a way how I'm going to go back and taste more of it.
You can do that. I mean, you have all of them in front of you. None of these bottles are empty, and it's not the.
Yeah, it's.
Sam has nothing to do for the rest of the night. She's
I
ready
feel
to
bad
stay
for
till 10
Sam
o'clock.
over here. Sam is like, oh God, this
Right?
guy, he won't shut up. He just keeps going.
Anyway, this is the Proprietors. So this is the version that is going to be released only in Chicagoland. And boy, did we have a hard time coming up with this recipe. There was shouting and fighting and threats, and they were mainly directed at me by my boss. And anyway, I paid him back for it.
By making a great beer?
No, by telling me he was a bully and he should lay off me or I'd sit on him.
That seems to be your end all.
It is.
Take care of.
Yeah, exactly. Sit on him. Squish him like jelly. So anyway, let's get back to the beer here instead of my empty threats towards fellow employees.
So coconut right away.
Yeah,
right away,
I
man.
Pick it
Coconut.
I pick it up, but you're among the few that do. I pick up coconut right away, but the coconut is you've got 4 elements working in this beer. So you have
Cassia bark.
I know them all.
I don't know what the hell Cassia bark is, so I can't.
Kasha bark.
Kasha.
Kasha bark is what cinnamon comes from.
Oh,
So, but it has a more complex flavor than cinnamon. So this is Kasha bark from Vietnam. And we tried various Kasha barks and different cinnamons. And we liked Kasha bark the best. It had the most complex flavor. And I'm glad that you pick out coconut first, because Kasha bark cinnamon is what people pick out.
no, it
Here first.
is. It's funny because I'm truth be told, I'm not a huge coconut fan.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's why I pick it up first, but I like it in this because it's soft. Coconut tends to be very abrasive in texture, also like in flavor as well.
Mm-hmm.
And this, it sort of transfers over the kasha bark.
Mm-hmm.
Since you've told me, I mean, I caught a little bit of what I would have referred to prior as spice up on my lips.
Mm-hmm. So again, I said it before. We didn't try to make a spiced version. What we're trying to do with this beer is bring out the flavors that are present in the bourbon or rye casks. There is cinnamon or a kasha bark like flavor. There's also a sweetness that comes from panela sugar. We made a syrup from panela sugar and coconut water. So panela sugar is unrefined sugar from Mexico. The panela sugar came from some tropical country. I don't know where. I can't remember now where it came from, but don't think it matters. And it says cacao chocolate nibs came from the Congo. I've been saying Angola to other people, but it's the Congo. And we looked very carefully at different nibs, too. There's a great company in Seattle called Theo Chocolate, and you can count on them for the best tasting organic nibs. They provide nibs from Panama and Dominican Republic, and they happen to be on a Congo kick right now. And we tried this. We tried these cocoa nibs compared to a couple of others, and they were head and shoulders above the other ones that we tried. So you have cinnamon in its most
pure form.
elemental form, You have chocolate in its most elemental form. You have unrefined sugar cane, so again in elemental form, and then some coconut water to be the base for a syrup that we made with the vanilla sugar.
Can I ask when you added in the syrup into the brewing process?
It was later. We added the kasha and the kasha and cocoa nibs went in first, then the vanilla sugar, and then we added more cocoa nibs, and then we added some more of the vanilla sugar and coconut water mixture to dial in the flavor.
Now, do you add the kasha in first simply to kind of like you said you didn't want to make a spiced beer? Is that one of the reasons why it kind of goes in first?
No, it was how it worked out. It was a layering of kasha bark and cocoa nibs. So the flavor might best be explained by saying that there is no more. We have kasha bark kicking around the brewery. We have coconut water kicking around the brewery. We have vanilla sugar kicking around the brewery, but we have no more. Nibs from the Congo.
That's good. Everybody went and ate them. That's why. Because
no, you wouldn't want to eat a nib. Nibs are like chewing on. I don't know. They're like chewing on rubber. So you wouldn't want to eat the nibs. But what happened is that as we're dialing in the flavor of the product, we made more. We made more. Of the syrup, but we altered the blend of the syrup and upped the sugar and reduced the coconut, and then we also added all the cocoa nibs we had and left the kasha bark out for the last part of the flavoring. So people have been flipping their lids over this beer. People have been.
There's a good reason for it. It's a phenomenal. I've cut you off like 3 times. Sorry.
That's fine. Again, we're not making it is not a spiced beer.
That's why. That's what I was going to say.
It is a beer that it emphasizes the flavors that come naturally out of bourbon.
What do you expect?
Every single one of those flavors you can pick out of particular bourbons, and I'm not talking about what are the hipsters drinking these Fireball? Yeah.
Oh God,
there's no. It's not. You don't have any Fireball in here.
Yeah, I don't need it. That's okay. I'm all right without the Fireball.
Fireball, Bourbon County. With
you might as well. You're gonna have to make a Sambuca Stout, and then
who knows where we're gonna go.
So. I do wonder though. So, what's going to happen in 2 or 3 years with the flavor profile of the Proprietors? Like, what happens to that beer? I mean, does one of the flavors kind of come to the front more so than the other?
Well, last year it was 3 different types of berries. It was Marionberries, boysenberries, and the mulberries. So it was a completely different beer.
Yeah.
I think there's enough complexity in the bourbon barrels that we can continue forging new ground with these beers. It's not gonna, you're not gonna find we're not gonna make a broccoli and kale of Bourbon County, rye. It's just it might be a kind of a cool color, but
what about
not doing it?
One of my favorite suggestions from a brewer I've met is an asparagus stout called "Oh Captain, Mer Captain."
You're great. Yeah. Anyway, no, we're not. there are limits, and again, I've said this before. The guideposts for this beer, and are you have to be able to find the flavor in a bourbon barrel, and so that's what I love so much about the. I was particularly fond of last year's Proprietors with the 3 different berries, but because you could find those flavors, particularly the mulberry flavor, in the flavor of certain whiskey barrels. But we may find that some contrasting elements can make a great beer too. So we've got these guardrails up, but cars tend to crash through guardrails, and so do people. And we're gonna continue to explore. We're gonna continue to experiment, and our manager of innovation keeps coming to us with these oil slick versions with about 90 different peppers in them. He just can't get his head off the pepper thing. And there was a very small batch of Ghost Pepper Bourbon County Stout that some people got to try, and it was an idea that came from one of the great people who work at Goose Island, Robin Surratt, and she convinced the person working on the barrels at the time to make a Ghost Pepper version of it, and I tasted it, and it was pretty good. It's not really. I'll be looking out for the oil slick, and probably saying no dice, because I don't know. I try to keep an open mind, but. And there are some peppers that have flavors like that are not they're more earthy and less heat, and I think that could possibly work in a Bourbon County variety, but we'll see.
What about like a smoked pepper?
Yeah, and that's the flavor that comes from we've just drank 15 beers. Wait a second.
14.
We've just
14.
drunk 14 beers.
We still have one more to go.